I would say statistically it definitely qualifies as the most important tournament of all time.
What is probably going to be the most stacked tournament in Smash Ultimate history? Kagaribi 13.
Kagaribi is the biggest,
greatest stacked tournament in Ultimate's history.
Everybody was there.
This has never ever happened before. Not only has a tournament never been this stacked in all of Smash Bros. History across all the Smash games, but the amount of upsets are staggering.
Let me paint you a picture, fellas. Okay, so Smash Ultimate tournaments are ranked using a tier system based on their size, prestige, and participation. In D tier, you have your everyday local, with it advancing into C tier for regional tournaments, B tier for nationals, A for majors, and then S tier for super majors. These are the big boys. These super majors are some of the most prestigious tournaments in the Smash scene, which feature a large amount of talent from all over the world. Sometimes though, these super majors have just enough talent to be able to reach a special tier even above that, called the P tier. These premier tournaments are exceptionally rare, with 9 having happened in a year out of 344 ranked tournaments in 2024. Now, here comes Kagaribi 13 strolling on in with so many top players entering that they had to create 2 brand new tier placements above P tier, skipping P+ entirely and going straight to SP tier. While the tournaments had an impressive 2,548 entrants, it wasn't the number of entrants that made it so insane. After all, EVO 2019 had almost 1,000 entrants more and wasn't worth as much as Kagaribi in points. It was the quality that made Kagaribi 13 stand out. 44 out of the top 50 players in the world were attending, and what's even more is 86 out of the top 100. This scale of players was unprecedented in Smash Ultimate, happening only once in Smash's history. Of course, a tourney of this size only meant one thing: it was gonna be a bloodbath. You had players young and old competing, ranging from experienced veterans who had ranked in the top 5 for multiple seasons of Smash Ultimate, to a 15-year-old who won the most recent P-tier tournament. Champions from each of the major regions were showing up to this tournament. However, there was a key difference that allowed Kagaribi 13 to shine so brightly compared to all the other tournaments. It was being held in Japan. While North America was largely considered the best region for the beginning and middle of Smash Ultimate's lifespan, Japan created a powerhouse of a region over time. It was a combination of a few things. Firstly, Japan is a densely populated country. Their public transportation is fantastic and has facilitated in gathering their top talent for frequent events at any scale, with people joking that a Japanese local might as well be an A-tier event. They also have a strong online presence, with Smashmate being a popular Japanese site where players compete in an open ladder ranking. This straight up does not exist in any other region to this degree. They also have a culture that focuses on grinding and improving the community's overall skill set regardless of level, which is supported by the fact that Japanese tournaments don't have any money involved for the winners. Oh, did I forget to mention? Kagaribi 13, you know, the super giga tournaments with top talent from all over the world flying to it to compete? The grand prize is $0. Yep. Japan's government considers gaming tournaments as gambling, and so legally it cannot have a prize pool. So this tourney is straight up for the love of the game, which to me makes it that much more legendary. They are allowed to give gifts, however, so you could surprise them with Raycon everyday earbuds. I'm being for real though, fellas, these earbuds are such great gifts, especially when it comes to a certain holiday coming up, a wink wink. Father's Day, by the way. Fatherly activities like walking through Central Park and drowning out all the noise and people while listening to some jams has never been easier. The noise cancellation on these things are on point. They're also perfect for someone forgetful like me, since 10 minutes of charging gives 90 minutes of battery. I can't tell you how many times I remember I need to charge them right before I leave, and boom, I am good to go. The fit on them is great, and being able to use them while going on walks is so easy. Especially how lightweight they are makes it so easy to stay on and not fall off. Blue also being my favorite color makes these bad boys really pop. It's not even just for looks, fellas, because the case also supports wireless charging too. So fellas, what are you waiting for? Go to buyraycon.com/tcnick3 to get 15% off site-wide now. Brought to you by Raycon. Anyway, back to Japan being broken for Smash Ultimate. Kagaribi 13 is also taking place during Golden Week in Japan, a time when multiple holidays align in the country. As a result, you have the strongest Smash region in the world taking opportunity of the perfect time to gather everyone to play. This was the first time global talent were actually traveling en masse to Japan. It was unprecedented. As a result, the lineup for this tournament was looking insane. Comments arising where people were saying that coming out of round 2 pools, aka potentially defeating just 4 opponents, meant that you were pretty much one of the best players in the world. So let's take a look at which characters were projected to advance in the Day 2, shall we? Day 2 was composed of 256 players, with every single character in the game making an appearance at least once, except for these bozos. Lucina not being present because I just couldn't make it to the tournament, unfortunately, so, you know, is what it is. Otherwise, everyone else is here, with the character with the most representation in the tournament is Steve, with 9 appearances in the top 192. Second most is tied between Rob, Diddy Kong, and Palu at 7, and third is tied between Snake and Aegis at 6. While that may sound typical, Japan is also home to many character specialists, so that one Carol you see listed may able to make some crazy waves, which is exactly what happened on... percent hit rate on a Carol. Oh my... He's cooking him. He's cooking him. This is what Kirul does though. He goes in and if you're not ready for him, bro, he will eat you. Get as much extra credit as you can. Oh, great side B. Use the armor on it. Oh, cheating. I love it. Oh my... Bro. He's cooking him. Oh. 3 hours into the tournament, we have Ball the K-Roll, a barely top 100 player in Japan, beat a top 20 player in the world with a bottom tier ass character, even 3-stocking him at one point. Cola wasn't out just yet, since Smash Ultimate tournaments are double elimination, meaning you have to lose 2 sets in order to be out of the tournament. This upset was a shock for the community though, and a sign for things to come. Let me tell you about upset factors real quick, fellas. When a player's seed, aka where they're predicted to place in the tourney, is higher than their opponents, that means the expected outcome is the higher seed wins. When the lower seeded opponent wins, that's called an upset. However, not all upsets are equal. That's where upset factors come in to really indicate how crazy of an upset it was. For example, 3rd place seed beating 1st place seed is kinda meh for an upset. 3rd place seed is predicted 2 placements below 1st, while the 1st place seed is predicted 0 placements away from 1st. So you just take the placements and subtract them to get the upset factor, boom, an upset factor of 2. On the other hand, the 3rd seed being beaten by the 13th seed is crazier. This one has an upset factor of 5, since 13 is 7 placements away from winning, while 3rd place is 2 placements away. Basically, the rule of thumb is that an upset factor of 5 is considered notable. Cola versus Ball had an upset factor of 7. The crazy thing is, that wasn't even the biggest one that's happened so far. By this point, the 27th best player in the world was beaten in this first round off stream by a Link that had a seed large enough to match the year Tupac was shot. This tournament was already turning out to be crazy, with anyone being able to take it, especially given the fact that the #1 currently rated player wasn't there. Her is a Japanese Snake who had won a P tier, an S+ tier, and placed 2nd at another P tier in the last few months. He was barred from proceeding in the tourney due to playing on his modded Switch versus people who didn't consent to mods being used. Japanese viewers saw his mods on stream and he was accused of cheating. And with mods being an especially sensitive topic in Japan, the scrutiny was high, so as a result he did not participate in Kagaribi 13. While her was considered #1 in the official rankings, there was another beast of a player ranked #1 in Smashmate, Japan's online Smash ladder, Frontier the Kazuya. Frontier is a monster online as shown by his ranking in the competitive scene online, but had never actually played in a public offline tournament before. As a result, he was seated well below his skill level when he signed up for Kagaribi 13, his first ever offline tournament. This meant that Frontier was primely positioned to cause insane upsets, which he did. Here we saw Frontier beating Shattuck, a top 5 player in the US. This resulted in an upset factor of 13, one away from tying the biggest upset factor in Smash Ultimate history. Shattuck wasn't the only one to meet an unfortunate end from hidden bosses in Japan though. Cole experienced an upset factor of 12 after losing to Mane the Bowser Jr. Ken, the best Sonic in Japan, seated at 26, lost to a 794 seed Game & Watch. Japan's best Pichu, seated at 78th, had lost to a Bayonetta with a seed of 1587. As a spectator, some of these matches were absolutely insane. I stayed up from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. watching most of day 1 before passing out. I will say some of the characters I saw the most on stream kind of surprised me. The most I saw that day for sure were Isabelle, DK, Corrin, Steve, Snake, Luigi, Banjo, Min Min, and Falco. 3 of those characters actually ended up making it a top 8, but that's spoilers. Alright, we'll get there once we start. Despite the crazy work done the day before, 19 out of the top 20 seeds were still perfectly intact for Kagaribi 13. There were still 256 people left in the tournament, but by the end of the day, there would only be one. We're back. So at 9 p.m., I got my 7 streams open and was ready to spectate Smash Ultimate's most legendary tournament. At about 45 minutes in, I thought I'd gotten off the deep end because there was a Buzz Lightyear on my screen. Fucking Light playing against Buzz Lightyear, Mii Brawler? What are we doing, bro? This Mii Brawler, who had ranked 98th in Japan 2 years ago, had taken the top 1 ranked American player to the last game in a 3 out of 5. Oh my god, he's doing so much damage. Come on, lock in, Light, lock in. Don't lose to goddamn Buzz Lightyear. Oh, it's over. Oh my gosh. Oh, hold up. Nice. Okay, a lot more even now. Oh, what the hell's wrong with this guy? GG's. To infinity and beyond, baby. While it was sad to see Light lose because of how fast and exciting Fox is, it was tragic to see the GOAT MK Leo lose at this point too. For those who are unaware, Leo is considered the greatest of all time in Smash Ultimate, having dominantly ranked first for the first 4 years of Ultimate's lifespan. Winning this tournament would have been cinema and secured him that title. But with Leo in the losers bracket, it just became infinitely more challenging to make it happen. Could the winner of this tournament have a chance of being considered the all-time GOAT? Well, another candidate to win Kagaribi 13 was Spargo. Not only was he ranked first in the most recent season, but he also was seeded first in the tourney, being the expected champ. He had even won Kagaribi 10 a few years back, being the first non-Japanese player to ever win a Japanese super major. But when it comes to tournaments like these though, you can never truly predict what's gonna happen. Because in comes opponent Riddles, the best Canadian player who is actually planning to retire from Smash Ultimate following this tournament. Man's had nothing to lose and was about to give it his all. Would Spargo be able to stop this 32nd seed? His crazy rage in general. Look at that shit, bro. That literally said, what? I hate Electric Wing God Fist. Dead. One whole stock difference. Please, bro. No way, mama. Holy shit. It's over, bro. It's over. He's not even a pop-off, bro. Not even a pop-off. And so with that, we have 3 extremely prominent competitors in the losers bracket within 2 hours of day 2. Spargo and Leo were set to fight each other soon after. A matchup which could honestly be seen in the grand finals of a tournament was being fought for 33rd place. Oh my gosh, then Spargo's getting washed. No way he's gonna get 3-0'd. How? Oh my read. After a quick 3-0, the first seed in the tournament was out. Tournament was anybody's. Although there were somebodies who were expected to take the tournament more than ever now, being Mia and Akola. Mia had won the last 2 Kagaribi tournaments, as was ranked 2nd in the world behind only Spargo with his oppressive Mr. Game & Watch. Akola, on the other hand, was ranked 1st in the world in 2023, as well as for the first half of 2024. He is considered to be the best Steve in the world, a character that is undoubtedly #1 in Smash Ultimate right now. These fellas also have the advantage of the tournament being in their home turf as well, an underrated bonus to have. They were making it smoothly throughout the tournament. Hold up. Europe's best player Gluttony, the Wario of all time, knocks Mia into losers? At this point, there were very few people in the tournament who hadn't lost a set yet. On the winner's side, there were 2 Americans and 2 Japanese players left. You had Raph, a Sonic player from Georgia who was ranked 35th in the world, as well as Tweak, a top 10 player in the world. Tweak was a veteran of Smash, having been a top player in Smash 4 and been a consistent threat throughout Ultimate's lifespan. His Diddy Kong had movement and plays you couldn't see anywhere else. He was set to play Akola, one of the 2 Japanese players left on the winner's side. The other was Raru, a young Luigi main who had a meteoric rise, going from 49th in the world in 2023 to being ranked 6th in late 2024. He was the first player ever to win a major tournament playing solo Luigi in any Smash game. The way these competitors were feeling was likely indescribable. They were only a few sets away from winning Smash's most legendary tournament, an accolade only one person could claim. A combo of nerves, adrenaline, determination, and a desire of more than anything to not join the blood-filled losers brackets fueled these competitors. Speaking of losers bracket, let's see how that's going. Many have fallen at this point. Players that had such high highs like Frontier, Ball, and Buzz Lightyear were all out. In fact, there were no more Americans left in the tournament besides Tweak and Raph. Losers bracket had 3 Japanese players and 1 determined Frenchman, baby, Gluttony the Wario. After beating Mia, he had lost later in the bracket against Raru, dishing out his fabled Link. Alright, I'm sorry, I don't give a shit, bro. I need to see Link gameplay. Oh wow, nice combo. Down smash his ass. Oh, forward smash at 48%. Dead. Well, that was close the first few games. Man's got Luigi'd in the final game. His opponent in the top 8 was Doramigi, the 15-year-old Min prodigy who had won the most recent P-tier tournament. The other 2 left were Carmelo and Mia, Carmelo being the second best Steve in Japan. Looking at this top 8 as a whole, people did express some of their disappointment. While there was a lot of character diversity, the characters themselves were mostly oppressive, top-tier characters that dominate the meta with their playstyle. Despite there being so many upsets in the tournament too, there was really no huge underdog in the top 8. The lowest seed there was Raph at 24th, with the rest being well within the top 16. Regardless if your favorite player or character was up there or not, these players had earned their spot in the tournament and had some intense matches to play. Winner wasn't decided yet. If you asked me though, I really want the Luigi to win because that would be the funniest outcome. First up was Gluto versus Doramigi, which for better or worse started with a bang. Honestly, you can see the Glutony's face sink, bro, instantly as he lost his stomach. Unsurprisingly, Doramigi took that game and won in a quick 3-0 fashion, thereby eliminating Europe from the tournament. Mia then proceeded to make quick work of Carmelo as well. No iron. Up next we had Raru versus Raph, a matchup which does not favor Luigi, but who gives a f about matchups when you can just grab Lamau? That's so crazy to me. Oh my, I didn't even realize he was up 3. He's that guy, bro. Tweak versus Akola was the next match, and unlikely to be a 3-0 like the other ones before it were. This match, many stated, would likely determine the winner of the tournament. The best American player left versus the best Japanese player. However, it wasn't exactly an even fight. These guys had played against each other in 5 sets ever, and Akola had won every single one of them. Tweak had an uphill battle to climb, with game 1 showing he had that fight left in him. Yeah, let's go with Tweak. That's what I'm talking about. Akola won the next one, and they traded games, ending up at 2-2. No! Leaving it all to game 5. It's so frustrating because Tweak is like ahead for a majority of the game, but then Akola gets like some god tier punishes in. Perfect range, perfect range. Alright, it's okay, he's at 160, he's at 160. That might kill, that might kill. It's alright, it's alright. Minimal extra credit. Minimal extra credit. Minimal. Nice, nice. No, but this, bro. This I can't stand. Even wood, bro, wood dash attack feels scarier than. Sorry, diamond dash attack? No, 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 no. Listen, if he takes the stock, like, without. This is doable. And that was that. Akala had triumphed once more. To a lot of people, this kind of meant that Akala had basically guaranteed the tournament, since his next opponent, Raru, had also never beaten Akala either, leading to another expected Steve win. But the thing is, fellas, this is why I watch Smash. Nothing is ever expected. You never know what's gonna happen.
Trying to do his own stuff, but what I do love from Raru here is overall he didn't let the Cola. My goodness!
Oh, really good grab from the Cola, because if Raru found the ground, reverse up tilt. That's huge damage. Oh, these jumps are getting called out super. Oh my! I thought that was up tilt.
Saved by the DI, saved by the DI here. Not going to survive a bit more, but look at that. The diamond has been sitting in his pocket for at least 3 minutes at this point. No usage at all.
The armor on the. Oh, that should be it.
Put his hook indeed. Oh my goodness! Not specifically now. Yo, all right. We are still in the game. 72 ain't much.
Oh, you fell down.
Never mind.
You're gone. You're out of here. That air connected. Could have seen a dead. Oh my!
Double spike.
No! And Steve. What was that angle?
Decided to go for the anvil here.
Oh,
No! It is! It is an answer to a
In Smash Ultimate's most stacked tournament of all time, the last person left without having lost a single set was a Luigi. Not a Steve, not a Sonic, not a Snake, not even a Mario, but Luigi himself. Raru was best set to take the entire tournament. So let's see what the losers bracket had to say about that until they eliminated each other till there was only one left. Worthy enough for Raru. Right before the set had happened, Tweak had beaten Doramigi 3-1 and Mia had defeated Wrath 3-1. Loser semis was now about to take place with America's last rep against Japan's highest ranked player. And let's just say he was ranked the highest last season for a reason.
Make it back, Twig, please!
Oh, that's
Good
huge back there. In such a low spot. Oh, that was perfect. That was perfect.
At this point, Kagaribi 13 had become a Japan-only tournament. Mia, Akala, and Raru were the only ones left. Raru was sitting comfy waiting for his opponent to arrive, while Mia and Akala had to face off once more. These two fight relatively frequently given their prowess in Japanese tournaments, with, unlike the others, Mia having actually beaten Akala in the past numerous times and their 2024 head-to-head count being 5-4. So of course there was no other way for the set to go without it reaching Game 5.
The platform layout. Uh-oh.
Good dash attack, we're going to move to the Stone Age.
That was an amazing anti-air. He's not dead though, but Cola
Yeah,
with the build on
the double
smash.
tap! It's not looking good for Mia at all.
Yeah, Cola is letting the F smashes fly as well. He just did it! Raw up B right into him. Hey, at the ledge. Cola mixing up the timing of his recovery though. Not enough to get past that bomb.
Last stock scenario between the two players.
He's
it up!
Oh,
Yes!
he's out of here. Reverse 3-0.
Reverse 3-0 by Cola!
Reverse 3-0.
And with that, Raru and Akala had reached grand finals. However, there was a bit more to this match than you might imagine. Sure, it was the finale for the biggest Smash Ultimate tournament of all time, but it also shows the progress of a story of two Luigi mains who started as pals on a Smash ranking website. One of them eventually switching to a new main, while the other remaining faithful to the Green Plumber. Although Akala had shook up the Smash world with Steve, Raru, in his own words, felt like he had finally caught up to his friend. It was time to see which of the two competitors would reach the pinnacle of Smash Ultimate. Although Raru had beaten Akala 3-1, what happened an hour ago means nothing. Akala had time to adapt and play some other matches and think about what went wrong with his initial set. He started Game 1 strong, and Game 2 even stronger.
Roll accident here on destination, final destination. And the story is, oh yes.
Nice.
pulling the trigger a tad too early on the side of Raru and paying for it the high price. 50-60% on his last stock. And Neville to punish that last air dodge. 121% on the side of Akola. This is just great for him.
That covered everything.
However, Raru wasn't about to get overwhelmed so easily.
Into iron and stone. So right now, the priority obviously for Raru was to get rid of that crafting table. Not going to happen, unfortunately. And now, Serious covers the weight.
Does he drop it again?
Wait.
Oh, actually off the stage, yeah. Oh, yeah, going for the triple spike.
I would say still
Oh, tech. Oh my goodness. Now that's one way to get 0 to death with Luigi.
Well, reading the jump again and punishing it. The game is even between these two
tech
players.
again?
But no tech. Up it.
Down is enough.
It is.
Off the top, man.
In Game 4, Akola showed that his smash skill wasn't just through Steve. Whipping out Aegis.
Hold on.
What?
The Akola Aegis is out. Oh, the top?
Yeah, I know. And take the whole stage afterwards.
Get out. Oh, he waited. Oh my god. Akola with the hard call out.
Akola had taken the first set, so now it was time for a reset. Given this was Raru's first time losing a set in the tournament, he had one more lifeline to defeat Akola to take it all. The nerves must have been off the charts for both of them, adrenaline going crazy. The players then proceeded into set number 2. Akola showing no signs of stopping.
The ledge pressure with the wall right there is so crazy, but tech chase almost again.
We got Diamond on the side of Akola. Are we going to find an opening? There we are, punishing the Nair. Now they are going to back her. There we are. You get a stage control. Are you going to go for a wall this time around? No, only a single block into a man there. Take that one.
However, Raru is not about to give up so easily.
By Akola. Is he going to find a kill?
We love the down B armor. That up to up smash has been so clutch from Akola, but the downer gets caught out. Sweet spot back here.
Trying to bait the other, does manage to get it. Nothing afterwards. Unfortunately, there we are. We start again. Except we do not.
Pivot grab.
Is it the time
He's
for
really
the claim back? It's time for the claim back. No. Interesting. Still at 100%. I agree, but there we are.
Oh my goodness, up tilt off of the anvil.
Game 3 then went back to Akola.
Oh, but the jump in.
He jumped in.
Leaving Game 4 to be do or die for Raru. The match started relatively even, but then Akola secured a huge stock. Beating Akola in Smash Ultimate was already extremely difficult. Beating him when he had a stock lead was near impossible. However, if there's anyone that can make the impossible happen, it's Luigi. All he needed was to get Akola down to 1 stock. Because all Luigi needed to do at that point was get 1 single grab.
This is so much pressure.
Good job. Good
We're
job.
not dropping that.
Good job with the up. It will be enough to find an up
Finds
B.
the up tilt. 112%.
If there's one guy who will make it, it is Raru.
Just needs one opening. Oh my goodness.
Opening was there. There we go, down.
Rare drop. Rare drop. That was his chance.
A lot of rage, I guess, and a few percent already on the side of Akola, so not enough to go for the kill confirm on this grab. Can he make it again? 40% against 122. Next interaction will probably be the last. And with that, no. Akola will have to go very far away.
Oh my goodness.
Disconnected.
Oh my goodness. But no, he saved him.
He saved him.
He was dead. He is dead.
He's going to find another thing. No, fair in the face. And now it's time to reverse the tides for Raru.
What do you do
Wait
here?
for it to go back on the stage.
Oh my goodness, this is so tense.
That's not enough by his socket. It's a very long nerve into a back
No match from Akola. Oh, with the upping. And that's the attack.
Yes, the dash attack will be enough for Akola. He will claim back his throne at Kagaribi 13. He will win the first and only SPGA on Smash Bros. Ultimate. Ladies and gentlemen, Skin saying it. He might be the GOAT, and I can confirm it. Akola from Center Division is the GOAT.
And with that, Akola wins the biggest Smash Ultimate tournament of all time. The set was extremely intense, but to despite all that, you could see the players laughing and smiling in between. These really were just two homies duking it out when you think about it. What Smash is really all about after all. Kagaribi 13 brought some players to their new highs, being a first experience for some and a final one for others. Besides this being Riddle's last tournament, Tweak announced his retirement shortly after. Smash Ultimate undoubtedly has its issues within the community and the meta, but I still think it's such a beautiful thing that after 6 years, we can amass such a massive, impressive tournament. Smash will never die, baby.